Press the button.
Did you hear that, Selina?
Recording in progress. Yep.
Okay, grand. Warning, this podcast may contain bad language and content that some listeners may find depressing, but luckily we're here and on hand to make you feel positive again.
Yes. Aren't you lucky carrots? I don't know why I said carrots. Carrots are adorable.
Vegetables might be good for mental health.
Supposed to make you see better.
Lies.
Yeah. I think we should just jump into this. Not a great opening. Not a great opening.
You and your carrots.
Welcome out one and all to Seesaw Podcast, the show that believes CBT stands for Chocolate Biscuit Trousers. I just waited until Cleaves had a sip of wine to see if that really odd acronym would make him spit it out, but he saved it.
I was trying to think about what chocolate biscuit trousers might mean, and I landed on skid marks and decided, well, eventually that I would say it. But there you go.
I thought it would be trousers literally made of chocolate biscuits.
They're not summer trousers, are they? Or really any trousers. I also assumed that the chocolate would be on the inner side. I'm like assuming these chocolate biscuit trousers are like chocolate digestives.
Yeah.
And the biscuity parts on the outside for some reason, because otherwise it'd rub against your legs. But then it'd be like a hot,
moist mess.
Yes.
Title of my autobiography.
Oh.
Ah.
Anyway.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not getting involved in this boy talk.
Yeah.
It's biscuit trousers. What's that? What's boy about that?
Well, it's typical boys to start talking about poo or, that's just a boy thing.
Chocolate.
Girls don't do that.
Okay.
It's chocolate, not poo. You're the one who brought the bar down.
No, Cleaves did. He said skid marks.
Yeah, it's true.
He did say skid marks.
But there you go.
Well, all right, fine.
Okay.
I've got quick line news.
Oh, okay.
Coming correct.
Remember that segment that we used to do?
Yeah. You're not going to have an annual summary next year, are you?
No.
Doing it.
Even half the opening shit I just leave in now.
Not bad thing.
So, today, the 13th of May 2024, the day that we are recording, is Stevie Wonder's 74th birthday.
Woo!
I wish we could have congratulated him at some point.
Yeah, you never know. We might do. I hear he listens to every single episode. So, Steve, let me know and I'll we'll get you on. We'll do you a solid.
I think we're running out of time when it comes to this. 74th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loads of people live beyond 74.
Yeah, but it's diminishing returns at that point, isn't it?
That's just his career.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I do not have QBN.
Nor do I.
But
Okay.
I do have an update.
On.
Oh.
Selina isn't
Okay,
only
just
clumsy.
Okay, right. I was going to say, just to be clear about how sequential these episodes are going to be and what we've recorded. So just bear that in mind.
Yeah.
Go.
Well, although I have not done it for a long time, this afternoon I fell over in the middle of the city centre.
Oh, bad times. Why?
Something spooked Ted. He pulled right at the time where it was a bit of an uneven pavement. My toe caught the pavement. I fell, hit hard, did a judo break fall because for some reason that's ingrained into me. And then got up, and luckily there were two blokes there, and they didn't laugh. They asked genuinely if I was okay, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine, thank you." And then I went to the bus, and then my knees are busted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you let go of Ted when you fell? Because
Yes.
I realised when I didn't let go of Riley when I fell. You let the dog go.
Yeah, I let him go because if I pulled him underneath me, then that would have been a bigger issue.
Ted Pancake.
Yep. Yep. So we just need to get the trifecta.
Well, I need to get a dog first, I guess.
You could just fall. Actually,
Yeah,
please don't, because whenever you fall, you end up with a cast.
that happened like one time.
Yeah. How often do you fall?
Not a
Like one
great
time.
That was more of a slide down some stairs that ended me with a crumpled heap at the bottom.
Yeah. Then you went back to bed
And I did. Yeah. I was tired.
like a champion.
Just thought I'd sprained an ankle. I
Yeah.
didn't think I'd broken a heel.
Well, there we go. And there's the news from me.
Oh, it's Cleaves' turn to fall over next. That's 2 down.
I'm not doing it.
No, please don't. This isn't like the falling over podcast. Although we should probably make that. Just talking about times people fall over.
Okay.
But my falling over incident today does sort of go hand in hand with the topic, very loosely, of this week. So, in aid of Mental Health Awareness Week, we are talking about mental health, and it's only been 180 odd episodes, not counting offshoots and extras. And falling over can make you feel a little bit shit. Well,
Physically.
and mentally as well. It was a stark reminder that I'm not bulletproof.
It's not Physical Health Week, so
Is that even a thing?
I don't know.
That's called every day.
Yeah, I can say yeah, really, you should be looking after yourself every day.
Yeah.
Arguably, you should be with mental health as well.
Yeah. Put down those chocolate biscuit trousers and pick up an apple.
That's for the
Trousers.
dentist. Apple a day keeps the dentist. No, doctor away. Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Well, yeah, and it keeps the dentist just around the corner. Just peeking round, just, oh, eat those apples.
When does an apple a day become 5 a day?
I think, depending on the size of the apple, an apple can be 2 of your 5 a day.
Oh,
It's a fruit portion, not an actual piece of fruit.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, mental health.
Yes. Mental health indeed. So, I think it's a good thing that as a society we're starting to talk more about mental health. It definitely was not the case when we were growing up. It was a don't be a wimp, get on with it. And there's lots of education happening now, which is really good, like, especially in sport and other areas. Seems like every other day a celebrity comes out with like a biopic or documentary about their mental health strife. And I think that's good. Maybe it gets to sort of too much of it, might be perceived as, trying to make a quick buck.
Hey, Miss World quit her job recently to focus on her mental health.
Yeah, that's true. And then another example, I can't remember the name, but a gymnast at the last Olympics
Yep.
for America
My
decided,
child.
yeah, just before actually competing, was like, no, mental health's more important, and then they walked away. They'd done all the hard work, and then were like, nope.
She did compete in some of it, but she had what was called the twisties apparently in the gymnastics world, and that's where like she couldn't do twirls or turns or something anymore. See.
Oh. Okay, well, we'll cue up the old school music for that. So, mental health, really important. Everyone should be looking after their mental well-being. But of course, we have to go from a perspective of disability, because otherwise we are just like every single podcast that covers mental health, including what I assume is the mental health podcast. If there isn't
There
one,
probably is one.
please
There
someone
must be
just...
at least 10. Yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be. So we thought we'd give this a crack for the perspective of disability, in particular visual impairment, blindness, all the stuff we know about. So, as always, Cleaves has some notes to keep us on track.
Mr. Notes, I've been known as in the past.
Mr.
Yep.
Notes, was that from earlier?
Yeah, it was about 5 minutes before we went live.
Yeah.
That is
Oh, Mr. Notes.
All right, so to begin with, I got what can make you feel low, disability-wise.
Falling in the middle of a city centre, right by a load of restaurants and bars.
I mean, that will make you physically low as well, to the ground.
Yep. And also, yeah, Kind of sucks.
Accidents as a result of your disability.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yep. They happen.
Mhm.
Like nearly breaking the front like window of a T-Mobile shop once. That happened.
You walk into a glass window.
No, it was two glass doors. One was open, the other one wasn't, but it was like connected. One of the doors connected to a big glass window, and I walked full force into it, and the whole front of the shop shook. And I
Must
was
have been.
like, "It's fine. I don't need to do phone." And I turned around and walked away.
I've also walked into glass doors before.
Sucks.
This
Yeah.
isn't Tales from the Crypts, people. Come on.
No, but we're going over things that can affect your mental health, and it is embarrassing.
Okay,
Even though you know it's not your fault, you do have that sort of mental, like with my trip and fall. I walk every day, and
all right, rub it into the paraplegics.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
sorry, paraplegics and quadriplegics, but it's such like there's a part of me that's like, okay, your eyes don't work, but you're lucky that you are, physically in a good enough shape that you don't have any issues walking around, you don't have any mobility, like disabilities or concerns or needs. And then I fucked up walking, and it's kind of great.
Yeah, but a lot of people trip.
Yeah, that's true. And it doesn't happen often, thank God.
Well,
Yeah.
you said embarrassment. On my list, I have basically the same thing, but I've wrote it down as shame. What else have we got on here? You can no longer do the things you used to do as a result of your disability. So frustration might be getting you feeling low.
Yep. Not being able to play the game, frustration.
Oh, I love
Maybe
that
so.
game. Oh, that has made me feel sad.
It's not a good game. That's the one with the little clicky dice thing in the middle, right?
Yeah.
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 Don't no, Selena. You're so excited about this, but it's shit. Other than that dice in the middle, all you do is
Look
move the
back in
counters
the-
around the edge. I mean, it's
Yeah.
tactile. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it is.
Dice in the middle,
Quite
Yeah,
tactile.
true. Very
which is
true.
in a
It
dome.
needs to be like a talking dice, but you can hear it click. That satisfaction of the click and you hear the two dice roll.
Is it
Yeah.
two in it?
Yeah, too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Talking dice, frustration.
Yep. But
Oh,
yeah,
someone should
not being
invent
able to
that.
play that, so that can be frustrating.
There's a sort of twofer on this, not being able to do things to do that you used to be able to do. Having to adjust to
Yeah.
situations you used to be able to do those things in, or having to make your own adjustments. Again, frustration. You having to do extra things now just to achieve the same activity you once did, possibly with ease.
Yeah, I think especially if you acquire your disability or if it deteriorates, um,
I got mine at the local market.
um,
Cost me a fiver. Worst money I ever spent.
that was a waste.
I don't know, you've had some questionable haircuts in your day. I'm sure you paid for them.
True.
It does make you think though, like when I was a child, I was able just to go out, even though I was partially sighted, go out whenever I felt like it, walk straight out that front door, no mobility aid, just off you go. And then as my vision got worse, it's like stepping out the front door is just like such a big deal now. I have to think, I can't just do it. Do I take the dog? Do I take the cane? And then do I know where I'm going? Is it a route I know? And it's just all these things like I never even had to think about before. They're just there.
Mentally draining.
Yes.
Yeah, and I, especially with the whole whether you take the dog or you take the cane, that is something that does add to my life as well. And like, it's like, is it going to be appropriate to take the dog? Do I need the dog for the longer routes? It's the balancing act. Went to a Vietnamese restaurant before I fell over with my team from work, and I was like, is it going to be an issue taking a dog into a Vietnamese restaurant because of cultural differences? Turns out it was absolutely fine. They were great.
Yes.
But it's the sort of place that like dog refusals happen quite a lot still. I'm just like, do I want that at what is supposed to be a celebration dinner?
Did you go to phone?
Yes. Yes.
I don't like pho.
It wasn't the best out of the 2 Vietnamese restaurants I've been to in Nottingham. It came a second place.
Mm.
I also dropped my meatballs, which I was kind of annoyed about.
That's not a euphemism.
That's not a euphemism. I literally dropped the skewer with meatballs. I was livid. I only had 2.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
Yeah. So I just sat there, and the waiter looked quite offended that I didn't want to eat the meatballs. I was like, no, they fell on the floor.
I threw them down on the ground and stamped on them repeatedly in anger.
You call this cuisine? No, but yeah, not being able to do things that you haven't been able to do before. But I want to drop my meatballs. I couldn't see them for shit. I had to ask someone to pick them up, and no one had noticed that I dropped them.
Can you pick up my
Surprised
ball?
Ted didn't get them.
Oh, I had a firm grip of him. He was going straight for them, but they were like chili and lemon meatballs, and I was just like, he can't eat those. I don't want to deal with the afters of that. So, yeah, but yeah, no one noticed me drop them, but then I had to ask someone to help pick them up, so the dog didn't get them. I was like, that's even more embarrassing. Not only did I drop something, but I had to ask someone to help me.
I might have covered it up with the dog, just let them get it.
Nah,
Deal with that later.
no, absolutely not. I had a skewer through it as well.
Yeah, let's go. It's slightly concerning.
Yeah. If it wasn't on the skewer, then I probably wouldn't have given a shit. But this was like on quite a sharp bamboo skewer, so I'm like, absolutely not. I don't want to go to the vet. So, yeah, but not being able to do things. That's a really good one. It makes life harder.
Yeah. Also, what I put on here, which kind of leads on from that, is fear of what other people might think of you. So not only the embarrassment, but also the questions like, am I being a burden on my friends and or family?
Yeah.
Internal ableism.
Is that what it's called?
I believe so.
Oh, God, there's so many terms that I don't know about.
That you don't need to know. They're all stupid anyway.
Wow.
Not the people, the terms.
Tell that to all of the internet.
Well, the internet can go do one. Yeah. I think I said it before, but yeah, opinions are useless. Give me facts. Facts, people.
Opinions are facts now.
No, they're not. They're absolutely fucking
The
not.
truth is just a hunch that you're willing to die for. It's not a fact anymore.
Yeah, but a lot of people are willing to die for that. So
They might be.
yeah, it's just a convenient way of getting attention for yourself.
Oh.
Okay, so
Anyway,
let's move on swiftly from that. You can tell the sort of week I've been having.
internal ableism. Got it.
Hey.
Yep. Yep.
And didn't you hear he fell over?
What a difference a day makes.
24 little hours.
There was a lot more to this day as well, which I can't legally talk about. But yeah, it's been a hell of a day.
Okay, what's last on this list? Ooh, I've got disability may be causing financial worries.
I mean, it can.
Like if it's caused you to maybe lose your job or take a different job, or even if you're taking benefits, like, can I get the benefits that I need to be able to survive? Am I getting everything that I need to be able to eat and live a normal life?
I think especially employment in itself can be a real kick in the teeth. Because I do feel like I've been passed up for advancement because of my disability, and that doesn't do anything good for my mental health.
Ooh, discrimination. I didn't have that written down here, but that's a good one.
So that's knocked me
The big
a
D.
lot recently, like in recent years, knowing that I was good for promotion, and it never was. They never took me seriously. That's what it seems like, and that's not good for mental health at all. And that happens to all of us. We all get discrimination in some way. I wish we were in a world where that wasn't the case, but you know, things suck sometimes. Just got get on with it and smile.
Great. Is everybody suitably depressed now?
Good.
Yeah.
One thing that I have on my imaginary list, but I have just thought of, depression through a condition that is deteriorating, and not having the means to stop it.
But isn't that like not being able to do the things that you used to be able to do?
It is, but knowing that that's going to get worse, and there's nothing you can do to stop that.
And an inevitable doom.
Mm.
I mean, that's a very bleak way of putting it,
Well, a spade is made.
but yeah, and I've had to deal a lot with that over recent years with deteriorating sight. And every trip to the hospital, the numbers get worse and worse and worse. And you know that they will stop getting worse at some point, which means darkness, baby.
It makes you feel a hell of a lot better though when you get to that point. Like, well, for me anyway. Like, I wish I could still see, but it's a nightmare losing your sight. Like, once it had finished going, that was like, okay, now I can deal with this. Now I can live with this. I know what I'm dealing with. So,
Well, that's positive. Let's
Yes.
move on to those positives.
Yes. Let's.
How can you build positive mental health? As brought to you by 3 non-mental health professionals.
I'm a mental health first aider.
I work in mental health.
Well, okay. At least one of us has passed a 5-minute course then.
Is that me?
I don't know. I imagine both you and Selina probably have to do one of those, like, fill in these tick boxes.
Very much. So, the first thing, and I'm going to overarch it, and then we can go into like the smaller aspects to it. If you are struggling, seek support. Go to your GP. They can refer you. There's CBT therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy. There's a lot of other things that can be done. There are groups that can help. There are professionals who can help. Go to your GP, chat to them, because that's a really good first stage to it.
And there's also friends and family.
Yeah. But some people don't have that option. You can talk to friends and family, but some people aren't comfortable doing that. It depends on the person, but I think going to a professional really does help, someone who's neutral. And although medication isn't for everyone, medical professionals they have a lot of things they have to tick off to maybe prescribe things to help you.
I'm not sure they do.
Well, you would like to hope that they would do it by a case-by-case basis. And if they think that that's what you need to balance yourself out a little bit while you have other avenues of help, then that's for them to decide with you when you have that discussion.
So one option for positive mental health is drug your way out of it.
Potentially. For some people.
But then you got to get off the drugs at some point.
True, but drugs are usually used in tandem with other means like CBT and other techniques to try and create positive habits and positive mindsets so you can wean off the drugs down the end. They're just used to balance you out at the beginning.
I mean, some people stay on medication for their entire life due to mental health. If you do go to your doctor, they might also social prescribe. So give you a gym membership or access to some social activities to help your mental health and your mental well-being.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
If I want free gym, I just have to tell the doctor I'm sad.
It's at their discretion.
I'm not.
But there are really strong links between physical health and mental health. So usually if someone is quite sedentary, quite inactive, and they're having a lot of mental health issues, one of the first key things is to get their activity levels up. And if they have got a really poor diet, to try and get their nutrition balanced a little bit as well, because that has a huge impact on things like serotonin levels, that sort of thing, melatonin for sleep. Like there are some things that they will really push to try and get you in a better place. And it might not be mental health stuff, it might be other things which will contribute to that positive mental health. Yeah.
So far we've got doctors, drugs. What else you got?
So you can talk to friends and family, like you mentioned. Sometimes just having someone to discuss things with can help. Like I said, it's not an option for everyone, but it can be a good option for some individuals. But you have to understand that the people you are talking to unless they have the qualifications, are not professionals. So you have to be wary about what sort of advice they're giving you. Like if your mate turns around and says, "Oh, just get drunk all the time, you'll be fine," that's probably not the best advice, but it might sound good. So you need to use your noggin when it comes to that.
Alcohol can stop you from being depressed very temporarily.
Yeah, and then can make you feel a lot depressed.
What?
Yeah. So that's always something you have to keep in mind. Being more active, like we said, being more active, eating better.
I think one that we've not touched on is peer support, talking to those that are in a similar situation to yourself. So in our case, maybe other visually impaired people, people who can relate, people who can help, people who understand what you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
I
Come
don't
join
know.
the show.
When you went to RNC, had you come across many other visually impaired people prior to the college?
Thankfully, no.
A couple,
I joke.
couple,
I joke.
but not that many.
Did that make you feel part of a community?
No. No, it absolutely didn't.
Bad train of thought, this one.
Unfortunately, the one guy who I was aware of was a bit of a tool. So,
I love that word.
and even then, I don't think he was proper blinking anyway. He had a prosthetic eye, but I'm pretty sure he had full sight in the other eye because he went later on to get his driving license and stuff like that.
Still, he's only got one.
So, one fully working eye is still full sight.
Well, yeah, but it's half of a lot of people's.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if we're talking about numbers, I'm sure numbers.
In terms of 100% vision, he's basically got 50.
No, it doesn't work like that. He's got 100% vision, but like
50% of the eyes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
I do feel like maybe not RNC, but like definitely. Well, maybe saying maybe not RNC, but for me, maybe not RNC. But things like RNC and peer support is probably quite good because people have that shared experience of the things you're going through.
Which I think can be helpful, but again, you've got to be careful because there are some people who just want to pick wisely, I would say. You need someone who will have lived experience but has their shit together.
Like this podcast, that's why people come here, for that peer support, people who are in their shoes.
Yeah.
We love you guys.
Yeah.
Despite what I said around 5 minutes earlier, that was just a joke. It's mental health, but we still have to keep it slightly light.
Yeah. The show that started with me referencing chocolate biscuit trousers is still the place you should come to for your peer support. Apparently. So yeah.
There were charities, weren't there, as well, that are running like peer support groups in your area.
Yep.
So give it a Google if you're feeling low.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a bunch of other people out there with similar feelings.
Yep. There's lots of great charities out there. I'll put a couple in the show notes. Ones that I've worked with through my organization, like partners we have, and I can attest to them being good. That'll be in the show notes.
And if you're really low, there's always Samaritans.
Yep. Samaritans are there if you're feeling really low, but in the UK at least, 111 if you're really getting to that place. And
I thought there was a different mental health number. Oh, I can't remember it now.
111 will direct you. So
I know, but I think there's an actual 3-digit one specifically for mental health.
if there is, I will put it into the show notes as well. But if you are feeling really low, don't just bottle it up. It's a dark path. You need to chat to someone who knows what they're doing. And even if you think that, things would be better off if you weren't here, that's not true. People do care about, I fail to believe that there's someone out there with people that don't care about them. Everyone has someone who cares about them. So, and think you can get better. Like, things can get better. And we are getting better as society now about supporting and there's lots of resources and lots of places you can go to. So the hardest part is taking that first step, but once you've done it, then you're on the road to recovery and positive mental health.
I think it's important to acknowledge as well that there are lots of different varying levels of mental health. You obviously have those, as you just described, that perhaps don't feel like they should be here. But then there's general mental health as well, but people that are just feeling low and not really low. That's just as valid. I think for those people to know it doesn't mean you have to be at rock bottom necessarily.
And it can be other stuff too as well, right? It's not just about feeling low. Maybe you're having anger issues or stress related issues or things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Or,
That's what I was trying to get at. Yeah, you're saying it better than me.
Yeah, financial issues, that's a big one, big contributor where people, we only glimpsed it earlier about having issues like worries and stress about money. It's one of the big things. But there's lots of support out there. So just take that first step.
you can get free CBT on the NHS, cognitive behavioural therapy.
Yep.
As mentioned earlier. It's quite a good thing.
Yep. It is a good thing. It's something that the NHS are really pushing. It has a lot of empirical evidence that show that it is a positive thing and it does work. So
I've done it twice for two separate things.
good.
Just saying.
No, I'm glad that it worked for you to the point where you wanted to go back and do it again and apply it in another avenue. So
I did those like 10 years apart as well.
yeah, but it shows that it works. It shows it's effective.
Well, I'll let everyone else be the judge of that.
Yeah.
I have sports psychology.
Nice.
Oh.
And you find that helps with like the wins and the losses and of games and things like that?
And my teammates, being part of a team, going from an individual sport to a team sport. Yeah, it's been very helpful.
Nice.
Yeah.
Another thing I put on here is work-life balance. Getting a balance between routine activities, stuff that's necessary, and stuff that's just fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some of my stresses were often the fact that I was doing too much work or just necessary life admin tasks and not a lot of like playing my guitar or just doing fun activities, going out with friends, that sort of thing. You sort of balance it out a little bit, and your head starts to balance out a little bit as well.
Yeah. Keeping it balanced, if you will, like the tagline of
certain podcasts,
which is amazing in every way. But balance is important, and like we said, don't be afraid to ask for help. And if you do have like pre-existing mental health difficulties, it's okay if it comes back. Obviously, we want people to be happy and healthy, but in a lot of cases, it is a battle, a long-term battle for a lot of people with highs and lows. But that's the importance of getting good habits and good routines. And that's something that I've dealt with myself, and getting good habits and good routines. Because if I fall out of that, then things can get a bit shit showy quite quickly. It's not something that I've gotten rid of. It's something that you have to, keep an eye on and make sure you're being proactive. There is no silver bullet to stop it if you are feeling in a bad place. Just do what works for you, and just know that you might have to fight that battle again. So just try and keep up with all those positive things you are doing.
I view my poor mental health like a bit of a cold, and when I recognize the symptoms of it, I do the things that I know will make me feel better. But it's taken me a long time to learn that. It's effectively like a Lemsip for the mind. But once you start to realize your own traits, then you can also figure out what makes you feel better as well, and you can start to combat your own poor mental health.
Yep.
That's one thing that I get from my sports psychology. Of one of the tools that they've taught me is to flip the coin. So if something starts frustrating you, flip the coin and then try and turn it into a positive. Why could this be a good thing? So, for example, you miss a penalty. That's terrible. You've missed. But flip the coin. Well, you've missed it this time, but practicing it more and more means next time you're more likely to score.
Yep. And just think about how spectacular it will be when you do it at a point where, maybe there's a scout. Maybe, the situation will be better for you. You never know. Pressure builds character.
Selina sees scouts every week. Oh, they're brownies. Doesn't
Brownies.
even work. God's sake.
Are we wrapping up? Because I've just had a thought, like, I could have actually plugged my phone in all this time and my battery is going to die because I've not actually got my headphones plugged in. But I'd go and get my charger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Let's
One
wrap this
second.
up.
Wait. 1 second. Let me charge it because it's like 5%, just in case it goes.
Even without the headphones in. Literally no excuse to not have it charged. That's not good for my mental health.
Or battery health.
No. Good battery health. Oh, messiahs.
I was going to charge it as well before, and I was going to leave it like I walked Riley, and then I can't go out without my phone.
I'm not sure I've ever wanted to say cool story, bro, in my entire life more than right now.
For
those on Twitch, enjoy this rambling.
Yeah.
In the background.
Yeah, it's for the Twitches. What do you call Twitch people? All right.
It's something.
Is my camera still okay? Now I'll pick my phone up and put it back.
Probably I'm not looking at that screen.
Oh, well, that's
And I just
Okay,
found a
wait.
giant piece of dowel on the floor.
Lovely.
Yep.
What a day this has turned into.
Yep.
In summary, people, if you are feeling down, low, stressed, angry, you just think, I'm not quite myself, reach out and touch faith.
Yeah.
Oh, also, God's a thing. You could do that as well if you're feeling low. Didn't think about that. Religion, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. Yep. Your experience might vary. But some people swear by it. Like every Sunday. So, as always, links will be in the show notes. I'll put some resources in there. This is a really important topic. And it's great that we're all starting to chat about it now. So, if you have other tips, other ideas, what you want to share with people, let us know at the links coming up, and then we will share them on the show when we come back with the next episode.
Anything in the chat?
No.
Okay.
But Selina's getting hungry, so we will leave it there.
Okay.
So, thank you for watching / listening, and we will see you very soon.
Thank you for listening to Seesaw Podcast. Your feedback and comments mean a lot to us, so if you'd like to get in touch, you can do so in the following ways.
You can find us on X at Seesaw Pod, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube at Seesaw Podcast. You can email us at seesawpodcast@gmail.com and you can stream with us live every week on Twitch at Seesaw Podcast.
Remember to like, rate, review and share with a friend.
This podcast was recorded in front of a blind audience.
Thank you for listening to Seesaw Podcast. Your feedback and comments mean a lot to us, so if you'd like to get in touch, you can do so in the following ways.
You can find us on X at Seesaw Pod, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube at Seesaw Podcast. You can email us at seesawpodcast@gmail.com and you can stream with us live every week on Twitch at Seesaw Podcast.
Remember to like, rate, review and share with a friend.
This podcast was recorded in front of a blind audience.